Can I say that one more time? Use my hand.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. What is up with you guys? Today, it's a very exciting day, okay? I know I probably say that in every video, but today I'm gonna be starting a new series on my channel in which I'm gonna be talking about makeup do's and don'ts. So basically, I'm gonna cut it into every little thing that we do in our makeup, and I'm going to show you guys what to do and what not to do. I'm also going to be talking to you guys about certain products. Like, I have quite a few bronzers and I want to mention them to you guys as I go in this video, so you guys can, you know, get a variety of different ones if you guys are looking to buy one, or, you know, whatever. Today we're going to be focusing on bronziness. As you guys can see, I don't have any bronzer on my face. I just have my foundation, concealer, but I'm looking flat as a motherfucker. Am I right? So I need some shade, some nice shadows, something to this little face. So yeah, if you guys want to see what to do with bronzer and what not to do with bronzer, then just keep on watching. Alrighty guys, first of all, I want to talk about contouring, because there's one thing which is contouring and one other thing which is bronzing. Now, if you don't know what contouring is or you don't know what bronzing is, don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna mention it to you guys. What is contouring? It's just basically adding, or not adding, because you already have shadows on your face. For example, for me, I have a really nice shadow right here under my cheekbone, which is usually the area where we like to contour. For people who have larger forehead, maybe they like to kind of add a little bit of contour right around here, which gives the appearance of a smaller forehead just because you have that shadow there, so it kind of makes it look smaller. Same thing with the cheekbones. You guys will see when I add the nice shadow contour kind of shade right here, it's gonna make my face look a little bit slimmer just because it adds that shadow, so it makes it look like, ooh, you know what I mean? Same thing with the jawline. I would like to focus on contouring and bronzer kind of in a three kind of section, so I like to go in 1, 2, 3 right on the jawline. That's kind of the area where you want to focus. You don't want to really contour, for example, like your cheeks. Like, you don't want to add contour right here because you don't really have any shade, you don't have any shadow on there. However, here you have that nice shadow. A lot of people like to contour their nose. I personally don't do it that much, but I'm gonna do it today in this video, so just you guys can get an idea on, you know, what it is to contour your nose and whatnot. But yeah, let's just first get started with contouring. Okay, so first thing you want to know, when you're contouring, you want to use matte bronzers. The reason for that is because, like I said, it's a shadow. It doesn't look like I have, you know, glitter, or it doesn't look like I have a highlight under my cheekbone. It just looks like a shadow. That's the reason why you want to use matte bronzers. You don't want to use anything with a sheen on it or with shimmer in it. Just stay the hell away from that, okay? So one that I'm gonna talk about is my OG Hoola bronzer. This, I feel like everybody knows about it. It's one of the OGs, like I said, everybody knows. And it just has the perfect kind of warm but coolness to it, and it really works. It's really nice. It's not too pigmented. It's a nice pigmentation where you can work with it. I feel like there's a lot of bronzers out there that are very pigmented right away, and it can be hard to work with. And especially with bronzers, like, you want something it has a nice pigmentation, but that you can kind of build up and go with it, and then it might not blend, it might not look as good, it might look kind of muddy. So yeah, bomb ass product. Definitely recommend it if you are looking for a matte bronzer that works for contouring. Definitely give this one a go. The palette that I have for contouring is this one by e.l.f. This is just the contouring palette by e.l.f. It looks something like this. It does have two kind of like highlighting powders, but we're just gonna focus on these. As you guys can see, this one is a little bit more warm. It just has like more of a orangey kind of warm color to it in comparison to this one's more it's more cool tone. It has like more brown, like true brown color to it. Definitely this is too dark for me, so I don't use this one on its own. I kind of just mix the two of them and then use them as either a contour or bronzer because they are matte, so it just kind of depends, but you can definitely use these for contouring. This is my highlight and contour palette by Ivy. I really like this palette. I talked about it before. As you guys can see, you get 3 contour shades, and These contour shades are perfect for contour. They're not very warm, they're not very cool tone. I think this is the most warm out of the, you know, the 3 shades. This one's very, very cool tone, and this one has a lot more kind of like a reddish undertone to it, so I don't really touch that one. I mainly focus on these two. Same idea. I feel like they're very, very similar. The e.l.f. shades, like if you guys look at it, it's like very, very similar. This one's just a little more dark, but same idea. I kind of just mix these two if I'm trying to contour. You definitely want to use a light hand with this because it can be quite pigmented. All right, and then the last kind of matte bronzer that I have, this one from this PROFUSION palette. I talked about this palette as well, so I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but basically you have a matte bronzer, which is perfect. It has the perfect coolness to it. It's just very wonderful color. It has a really, really nice blendability, nice pigmentation. This one I would say is a little bit more pigmented, so you definitely want to use a very light hand with it, just because it can be like right here, it can be really pigmented. So just use a light hand, especially for contouring. Use a light hand.
Can I say that one more time? Use light hand.
So let's contour, and then I'll move on to kind of like the shimmery kind of bronzers, you know. I usually like to use this little brush. This is by Morphe, and as you guys can see, it just has like nice fluffiness to it. Where the hell did that come from? It has a really nice like fluffiness to it, but it also has a nice angle to it, so I feel like it just kind of goes right underneath the cheekbone, and it just kind of hugs it and blends it in. I guess we'll just use the PROFUSION palette. I'm gonna show you guys how I contour with PROFUSION. So I'm gonna go right into this color, which is a matte shade. I pick up a bit of product, not too much, and then I like to kind of put it on the back of my hand at first and then go into my face. I'm gonna go ahead and take that brush and place it a little bit above where I have that shadow, just because if you bring it too low, then it will make your face look a little bit more manly. It just doesn't look as good. So I'm just gonna take it right here, so you can see a little bit above that cheekbone, and I'm just gonna very lightly start blending. I like to kind of do circular motion and situation, just about right where that nice shadow ends, as you guys can see right there, stopping right about here, right about this area. And for me, because I have more of a rounder face, I like to kind of take some right on this side, just to make, like I said, the appearance that I have more of a slimmer face, just because it adds that shadow. So it kind of, you know, it just makes it look a little bit more like. I'm just gonna kind of pat it right along this side, just to make the appearance of a longer face instead of it too much of a round face. Same thing right here. I'm just gonna do the 3 kind of section, but not too much, because I don't have a really big forehead, so I don't like to apply too much bronzer here, or else it will make that shadow, and then it will kind of make my face look even smaller. So I just like to focus it kind of right on the sides, very lightly, as you guys can see. I'm not applying a lot of pressure on the brush. I'm not applying a lot of product either, so it's just kind of blending in really nicely, and then I bring it into the jawline. I've seen a lot of girls who apply like bronzer right here, but then like when you see, if you don't blend it in very well, you will definitely have like just a line, and then if you turn this way or something and you have a double chin, you will be able to see it. Make sure you're blending it really, really well. Take your time with it. You don't want to rush into it. And that already, you guys can see, added a really nice shadow to my face. Okay, so that's about contouring. There's not much don'ts when it comes to contouring, other than just make sure you keep it in a nice 3 kind of shape. Don't bring it into your cheeks too much. Make sure this is nice and highlighted. You don't want to bring darkness into this area. Just keep it right under your cheekbones. Make sure you focus on where your actual cheekbones are. Keep it a little bit above your cheekbones, just so that you don't bring it too low. And yeah, I think that's that for that. Okay, so now let's talk about some kind of shimmery bronzers that you want to use for actually adding that really nice, like sexy bronze kind of look to your face. The first one that I'm going to talk about is this one by MAC. This one is the Global Glow, the Mineralize Skin Finish Powder. I've had this for so long, and I don't think I've ever used this on a video. It's a really beautiful bronzer. Just you guys can see that it has a really bright kind of glow to it. It's right here. There, you guys can see it. You could even use this as a highlight if you have deeper skin tones. For me, I definitely use it as a bronzer just because it adds a little bit of that warm golden kind of orangey kind of look to your face, but it's definitely not like an orange shadow, you know what I mean? So I definitely like this. I don't use it as much anymore, but I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a very glowy bronzer just to apply on your face. One thing I have to say, if you have texture on your skin, if you have like any, you know, texture right around this area where you apply the bronzer, because if you think about it, any areas that the sun would naturally hit is any high points of your face. So like for example, right on top of your cheekbones, right about here, on your nose, maybe right here on just like the tip of the nose, right on top of your forehead, on this area right here. If you have any texture around there, you definitely don't want to go in with like a shimmery or like a glowy kind of bronzer, just because it will emphasize that. It's just a warning. Then I have another bronzer by Tarte, the Park Avenue Princess Amazonian Clay Waterproof Bronzer. This is a wonderful bronzer. I've been using this a lot, and this, same thing, it does have like a sheen to it, but it's nothing compared to that MAC one. And the color of it is just, it's right here. The color of it is a little bit more golden brown kind of shade. Versus this one has a little bit more of a red tone to it. Just blends really nice on the skin. It does have a sheen to it, but it's more like, this one's more blinding. The MAC one is more blinding. This one has just like a subtle kind of golden sheen to it, but you can still see it. It's still there. Same thing with this. You want to just use the light hand. Same thing with this one. Use a light hand when you're applying it. You don't want to go in, because then you might look like an Oompa Loompa, and I don't think that's the look you're trying to go for. You know, like we're trying to look like J-Lo, like we just been in the sun, like just been in the sun, you know, tanning my ass because I want to look like an Oompa Loompa. I also have this one from this PROFUSION palette, which is this one right here. As you guys can see, it's more warm than this one. This one's, you can definitely see that it's more cool tone, more browny kind of shade. This one's more of an orangey color. This does also have like little gold glitters on it. It does transfer on the face, but it's nothing crazy. Like, it's not like, oh my god, I have like little glitters on my face. No, I feel like once you go in with the brush and you apply it, it just kind of comes off. Okay, so me, I like to use a big brush just because if I'm bronzing the face, I just kind of want to, you know, apply it on that area. This is a big brush, but it's not like huge to the point where you're gonna apply bronzer everywhere. No. So I'm gonna be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Bronzer, and I'm literally just gonna go in like this, 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I have some product. I tap off the X's always. Then what I like to go ahead and do is really make sure that my hair is out of the way, just because you really want to push this product into your hairline so that it looks as blended as possible. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna first kind of apply right on this area. I'm just keeping it above kind of like my cheekbone area and where my highlight would go. I'm just keeping it right there and just very lightly doing circular motions in such a way. I go back into the product, tap off the X's, and I'm gonna go in just in a 3 kind of area right here, which is kind of, it looks like I'm almost just brushing like my hair, just like, you know, I'm just applying a very light amount on there, because if not, it will look very pigmented right around this area, and you will look like you have like a bronzer helmet. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but some girls walk around with that, so that's why I'm here. Okay, make sure you don't apply too much. You guys can see that it has a really nice warmthness to it. It added a nice sheen to my face. Like, you guys can see the sheen on this side compared to this side. This side just looks matte, kind of dry, kind of just whatever. This side looks a little more like, yes, I'm glowing. And then with very little product, I like to go right on the nose, just for a little bit of color, just like that. It just makes your nose look like you've been out in the sun and you're kind of like getting sunburned or something. That kind of look, you know. Then there's like nothing in this product. I just like to go in like this, like whoop, whoop, whoop. This is the foundation brush that I was using earlier, so I'm just gonna take this and very lightly go over that just to make sure that there's no harsh edges or anything like that. You don't want any harsh edges when it comes to bronzer, because then it will just look, it will not look pretty. Okay, so yeah guys, I think I gave you guys quite some good tips, do's and don'ts when it comes to contouring, when it comes to bronzing the face. I hope you guys enjoyed the first video of these kind of series that I'm gonna do, and just let me know in the comments if I helped you guys out, if you didn't know how to apply bronzer or where to apply it, or you know what the purpose of it is. Then you know, I hope that I got some of that. And yeah, I will leave all the products that I mentioned down below so you guys can check them out if you're looking for, you know, a new matte bronzer, a new shimmering bronzer, whatever. Alrighty guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I am getting out of here, but I'll see you guys on the next one. Alright.